What are the biggest, the worst retirement mistakes? What are they, and how can you avoid them? Helping you with that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. We have been blessed to coach thousands of people, families into retirement from their working years into those retirement years. And it is a blessing. What's it take? Discipline, hard work takes a lot of time. Guys, it takes a comprehensive approach to your financial life, looking at all 6 areas of your financial life and making decisions that bring synergy to those areas. It takes that comprehensive financial approach plus that disciplined 5-factor retirement plan over a long period of time. That can get you there. Whether you feel like you're ahead of pace, you're behind pace, that can get you there. I've shared before, never seen a financial situation where someone came in where we couldn't figure out a retirement plan that worked for them. So get that comprehensive financial planning, work through that 5 factors, look at all 6 areas of your financial life. You can get there. Now, as we've done that with our large team of financial professionals and almost 20 CFPs, in all the experience, what are some of the biggest retirement mistakes that we've seen people make? Well, I saw this article recently that sort of attempted to lay those out. And guys, as I read it, and normally I read these things and some of it's helpful and the rest of it's just junk, this one's actually good. Now, suspend disbelief because it's wildly simple. But after I read it, I asked myself, well, if someone avoided these mistakes, would they be able to retire with confidence? If you worked with a certified financial planner, doing comprehensive financial planning, you're going to avoid most, if not all, of these mistakes. And if you do, if you avoid these mistakes, working with a CFP, doing comprehensive financial planning, yes, I believe you would enter retirement with confidence and successfully. Now, you might look at some of these and say, too easy, or no, that's not necessary. And you might be right. Some of these you might say, no, I could retire and I could still do that. But guys, these are mistakes. It would add risk to your overall financial plan and retirement plan. So what are the biggest retirement mistakes that people make? And how can you avoid them? The first one is quitting your job. And again, I probably wouldn't have started with this one, but we've talked about this one before in that when you're transitioning between one job and another job, there's often a pocket where you're not saving up for your retirement. There's a vesting schedule. That's what this article talks about, that, well, if you leave an employer and you haven't been there long enough, then some of the match money doesn't come with you. It's not yours. But then also there could be a waiting period before you're eligible to start saving into your 401k again. On top of that, you might have an income shift or a gap in income where you might say, well, we've got to hold on, to pause on the investments, the savings anyway, pause on that IRA or Roth savings. You might have to move in relation to your job, and that changes your cash flow situation because there's now a new mortgage or some of those moving expenses. You might be changing jobs and have gotten a big pay raise, and all of a sudden you say, well, we're able to afford this bigger house, we're able to afford that vehicle. All those are good things, guys. You're going to change jobs. But the risk here, or the mistake, is while you're changing jobs, not being aware that you could be leaving some money on the table if you're not vested, but also not being aware that you need to make sure that you avoid those gaps of retirement savings so that you're disciplined in saving up for retirement even as you're transitioning employers. Now, the second one, not saving now, this is the one I would have started with. The most common phrase said by new clients as they come in to our office at KFG is, gosh, I wish I would have started sooner. Gosh, I wish I would have started sooner. Almost every new client at some point in that introductory, those first few meetings, they will say that, they will make that statement. In order to build wealth, this is the wealth building formula, you need cash, you need risk, and you need time. The bigger the inputs for that equation, the more wealth that you're able to build. And so getting started sooner. Yes, is the market volatile? Sure. Are there concerns where the market could go down? Yes. Do you have cash flow needs where this money could be directed somewhere else? Yes. And yet all of those reasons aside, saving more now is something that you should do to help ensure that you're on track for retirement. Okay, you got me. I would have started with this one. I would start and I would end with this one. Not having a financial plan. Not having a financial plan. So if you just retire without actually doing comprehensive financial planning, you could be making an enormous mistake, both in the timing, how much you spend, how you structure your investments, how you structure your tax picture. You need a comprehensive approach to your financial life, looking at all 6 areas, and you need that 5-factor retirement plan in order to retire with confidence. Now, I'm gonna go into 2 different areas. Now, one is you need that 5-factor retirement plan, looking at all 5 factors that determine if you're able to retire. The age that you want to be done in your life expectancy, what your spending levels are, and that includes assumptions about inflation and health insurance and all those sorts of things. Third, what are your retirement income sources? How do you optimize them? So what's your strategy with Social Security? Fourth is how much do you have saved up? How much do you need to have saved up? And fifth is how is it invested? Are you taking a lot of risk, medium risk, low risk, and how will that change over time? Your retirement, your ability to confidently step into retirement is based on how you answer those 5 factors. And guess what? They're interrelated. If you say, I want to retire at 40, but I want to spend a lot, and I won't have any retirement income, I haven't saved anything, and I don't really want to take any risk, obviously that plan's not going to work. It's interrelated. As you make a decision in one area, it's going to impact the choices or trade-offs in the other areas. Most so-called financial planners just want to help you with your investments. And some of them are wise to that now until they say, oh, but we'll add in a free retirement analysis as well. They're not doing a full 5-factor retirement analysis. They're not looking at all of those interrelated parts, and therefore that retirement plan is not as helpful as you need it to be in order to step into retirement confidently. But then the other part of this not having a financial plan is your financial life is made up of 6 different areas. Your present financial position, your protection plan, your tax planning, your investment planning, yes, that retirement plan, and your estate plan. And if you're approaching or if you're navigating your finances without looking at all 6 of those areas together, then you are missing some big opportunities and missing out on the clarity and confidence you need to reach your financial goals. So yes, I can't overstate this one enough. One of the biggest mistakes for retirement is not having a proper financial plan. Fourth mistake, not maxing the company match. Now, many people, I've shared this before, many people feel like, well, I'm maxing out my 401k when I'm getting the most company match. No, that's the minimum. That's why this mistake is listed here. The minimum that you should be contributing to your 401k is enough to get the very full company match. Then, as mentioned in the first mistake, you got to be aware of the vesting schedule and all of that to make sure you don't not only leave money on the table, but leave it behind. So whether that formula is a safe harbor match that 100% on the first 3, 50% on the next 2, or it's a different formula, some of them can be confusing. Know what your formula is, stay on top of changes with it, and make sure that you're getting the maximum company match. The 5th retirement mistake is self-evident. This is the one where many people focus, and right now is a unbelievable example of why this one is so crucial. Everyone last year, going into 2023, expected that the stock market would continue to struggle and then have a recovery at some point later in the year after we got through a recession. Almost all economists and Wall Street firms were projecting the same thing. And what did the stock market do? It did what it always does, and that is climbs a wall of worry and moves in a way that proves as many people wrong as possible. It provided lumpy returns, basically started the year okay, gave up almost all of those returns in the fall, and then provided 2 to 3 years worth of returns all in a chunk of just a couple of weeks. The markets move unpredictably, and if that unpredictability means that you are reactionary with your investment strategies and you make adjustments all the time or aren't following a prudent long-term investment strategy, then you're prone to making some pretty significant investing mistakes. Doing so can wreak havoc and push you behind with your retirement plan. working with the CFP, determining what's the right level of risk that you should take for your retirement plan, and working the right investment strategies. That's right, multiple strategies that complement each other so that you've got the appropriate level of diversification to go out and achieve those goals. It's not easy, but absolutely one of the biggest mistakes is unwise investment strategies. Connected with that, not rebalancing your portfolio, setting that long-term investment allocation and investment strategy, but then those areas, some areas of your investment portfolio over time will grow a little bit more than others. That's part of the reason why you have diversification. So a disciplined rebalance schedule that trims off some of the fat, trims off some of the growth from those bloated areas and applies it to the areas that have underperformed cyclically is a way of selling high and buying low. So have a rebalancing schedule for your investments. Poor tax planning, I already stated this. This is one of the 6 areas of your financial life, and you can't confidently retire, you can't confidently invest unless you understand your tax planning and your tax shelter strategy. That's not the same as tax preparation. Preparation is reactionary, tax planning is proactive. What are the opportunities for you to pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime, and then which of those opportunities should you implement? Should you fund Roth or pre-tax? Should you do a Roth conversion? Should you fund that HSA? If you do, should you treat it as a retirement vehicle? Those questions and many more, you've got to be aware of your tax planning strategies. Otherwise, it's a big mistake. Cashing out your savings, that's the next risk. We all go through rough patches in our financial life, all go through rough patches where even with the best planning, you can fall into and hit some turbulence, hit some really challenging times. The temptation might be there for you to cash in your investments. If you can hold off, or if you've got other resources in place, an emergency fund, that 3 bank account system, so that you don't have to cash in savings, obviously that's going to help you avoid making this mistake, which can derail a lot of retirements. Coupling with that one, if you don't reach into savings when financial trouble comes, you might reach for a credit card. And that's the next big mistake, is accumulating too much debt, driving up your debt while you're trying to get to retirement. Why is this such a problem? Done lots of videos on this before. Can you retire still with a mortgage and with that? Yeah, absolutely. You can retire with that. And yet you just need to know you've got to have debt service. You've got to build that into your retirement income and your retirement spending strategy. I've got X amount that's got to go towards this debt, paying off this debt, either the mortgage or credit cards or car payments in retirement. If you've got enough retirement income where you can manage it and you live within your means, it works great. For many people, getting out of debt before you retire frees up that cash flow so that you don't have to have extra dollars going towards paying off debt. It can go to provide for your lifestyle in retirement anyway. I already mentioned in the 5-factor retirement plan this mistake, not planning for your medical expenses. I don't know how you can appropriately retire without thinking through and planning for, all right, what's my health insurance going to look like? What's it going to cost? What choice will I make? What's my health insurance going to look like in retirement? Even if you're retiring right at 65 and are able to transition right onto Medicare, that's going to be the biggest health insurance decision choice of your entire lifetime. What side of Medicare? Are you going to go with traditional Medicare, or are you going to do Medicare Advantage? That is an enormous decision. Certainly if you retire before Medicare, you've got to plan even more. So figuring out what your health insurance strategy is for retirement, you've got to do that in order to have a successful retirement. And then going along with that, this article states one of the biggest mistakes is drawing Social Security early. The problem is the vast majority of people draw Social Security right away. So I would change this and say not optimizing your Social Security. It may make a ton of sense. It may be the right decision for you to draw Social Security right away. Or it might make sense for you to delay it 6 months, a year, or a few years, or all the way until 70. The point is be proactive and plan for it, as opposed to making the mistake many people do, and that is drawing it too soon. So what do you think? You agree? In my experience and our experience here, yeah, avoiding these mistakes would allow you to be able to retire with confidence. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of working with a financial planner, certified financial planner. Doing comprehensive financial planning, looking at all 6 areas of your financial life will help you avoid these mistakes, help you retire with clarity and confidence. Work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well. Or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.